Oh my God, is that you, JD?
That's me. I'll tell you. You miss me?
Where you been?
Well, there was a hurricane, Irma.
Irma.
Yeah, Irma decided that it was heading to Florida, and I headed to Tennessee.
You want? I stayed. I held down the fort, and I was looking for you.
You had your big Berkey. I hadn't got mine.
I had my big Berkey. I had my big generator, my solar generator.
I got an old house, and it's rickety, and I'm not a wealthy man, so
you don't have to.
I'm not a very bright man either, because I should have a better house. But we had no damage other than a couple of little shingles that busted off. We got to have replaced, and a bunch of tree limbs. So we were fortunate. A lot of people around here were, and we were lucky. I mean, I don't know, but you said it was the trade winds. And,
I believe that the trade winds helped push it off, because right after it left Fort Myers, which it devastated in Bonita, it started shifting inland and went across up towards Jacksonville, and it took a big burden off of the Sarasota County, which has the trade winds and is known not to have hurricanes.
Yeah.
Although we did hit hurricane winds, we did hit 81 miles per hour, and most of the damage, from what I can see, was trees, tree limbs, things like that.
Well, that Category 1 type of storm can do a lot of damage if you don't have, like mobile homes and
of course
and cages, stuff like that. It knocked down. I've seen some fences that got knocked down. I was impressed that my fence was still standing. Thank goodness. But because we have a solid wood fence, the guy across the street, his has been there a long time. Mm-hmm. He had a picket fence, and it just blew it all apart. Yeah. Wow. So it was probably dry rotted or rotted from the water. So ours is in concrete.
I didn't lose electric, and I didn't have any damage, and I live a block from the water, and I could tell that there was something going on. When you watch the Weather Channel, it showed Naples was going to have like 15 feet storm surge, and then Fort Myers was going to have 10 to 12, and then you notice it decreased in Venice and so forth. It showed 5 feet of storm surge, and then it increased again in the Tampa Bay area. So I'm still sticking with that's why the Indians ended up in the Osprey Venice area is because in Sarasota is because the trade winds keep the hurricanes away.
It's a good possibility. I heard that there's a lot of Indian burial grounds around here, and that's maybe their gods are protecting them from all these hurricanes.
I understand that the oldest burial ground for Indians in the country it's called Spanish Point. It's in Osprey, Florida, which is you could walk from here. Well, a long walk.
Well, one of us could.
Yeah, well, I don't know if I could.
I don't know if I could.
It's probably about 5 miles up the road, and they have they say it's you go in there at night, and I saw Dr. Belzano the other day, and we'll talk about him. He'll be coming in for an interview, and he's a guy that he saved the guy, kept him alive. The guy was dead for 47 minutes, and he saved him. And it's incredible. Well, we're going to interview him down the road. But that being said, he told me he went to a dinner once, and he went to that burial ground, and there's this old tale that you take a flashlight, and if you shine it into the graveyard, and you see like funny looking objects and spirits and so forth. So after this dinner, all these people, I'm sure there were several doctors there, they all had flashlights, and they were all shining them into the graveyard.
We had that where I grew up at. There was a burial ground in a park, in the middle of the park. And it was a small, probably 30 foot by 30 foot. And it was just this one family. And they had a statue of Mary, and our church was across the street. And the youth pastor said that if you go over there and you walk around that 3 times and look up at Mary and ask her what's going on, she'll say nothing. And so all of us kids would go over there, and that's what we would do. We'd walk around that thing, and we'd look up at Mary and ask her what's going on, and she'd say nothing. And so after a while, you'd catch on to that. So all the new kids,
what's she saying? Nothing.
All the new kids, we bring over. So you got to go check out Mary. You got to walk around there 3 times, and she'll say nothing. And so, there's a lot of those kind of things going around.
Sure.
There's no doubt about it. So.
Sure, yeah. But we were very, very fortunate here. Naples was not so fortunate, and I'm sure that
Key West is not so fortunate either.
Key West. I love Key West,
Puerto Rico's getting slammed today. I feel bad for all those people, and the people in Mexico with the earthquakes.
But
is it global warming, you think? Or?
Actually, I'm going to tell you something. It was on the news today, okay? I saw it on the Drudge Report. there are a number of global warming believers that have actually come out and say that global warming isn't happening. They're about 20 or 30 years off. I'm telling you, I'm serious.
Well, I don't know.
And
I mean, that's
whether
they're 20 or 30 years off or not. That's still, it's still something. That
see,
needs
I
to
don't.
be
I believe.
addressed.
I believe in global change. I think it's been changing for 1,000 years.
Sure.
I don't. I'm a global warming skeptic, because a lot of the scientists that enter this information into the computers alter the information. Quality in, quality out, garbage in, garbage out.
I agree.
And they
Well,
fooled around with the numbers, and
That's
they
like
came
the
out
Congress
bad.
and the Senate, right? Garbage
Oh,
in,
don't
garbage
even.
out. No.
It's all garbage in.
Yeah, and
You know,
garbage out.
Garbage out. Republicans, Democrats, I've had it. Okay, I've had it. And as you can tell, our audience, we are not partisan. I mean, we're Americans, and
That's
we're sick
what
of
we're partisan to,
yeah, exactly. We're sick of both of them.
The biggest thing that upsets me about the whole thing is that they just don't want to work together, and they want us to work together to take care of each other and love your neighbor and all that. But you can't get the Senate and the Congress to work together towards, the budget, towards anything. All this stuff that needs to be done in this country to protect us is not being done. And they're trying to stop people from coming in. That's great, but our bridges are falling apart. Our roads are bad. If you don't believe me, you should have seen the roads that I saw. I mean, they're just potholes in the middle of the damn road, and it's rough. I mean, it's these bridges. I mean, I hear Venice Pier is now closed until it's being rebuilt.
It is?
They closed it because of the hurricane.
Really, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was on Scoop News this morning on Facebook.
Okay.
He's
just to
pretty
let you
up
know,
with
you
stuff.
know that I don't turn the TV on for the news. Although, my confession, I had the news on and the Weather Channel and so forth during the hurricane, but I don't watch
Which
that
channel
kind of
did you
news.
watch? The Weather
Channel.
Weather Channel, yeah.
Yeah.
So do I. So do I.
Yeah, but you mentioned something about the government and so forth. Did you know that the FEMA, 2 weeks before the hurricane, knowing that the hurricane was coming, that was Harvey, they sold 100 trailers that people sleep in and live in that were only a year old, barely used. They auctioned them off.
Really?
And somebody bought them for dirt cheap when they could have used those for people to house people.
Well, did you hear about Red Cross? What's going on with the Red Cross?
Well, they spent billions for 5 houses. They spent $500 million to build 5 houses in Haiti. I know that's money's getting pissed
that's
away.
One of them, but the people in Houston that everybody's donating this money to Red Cross to help those people, and they're not getting the money. And the Red Cross is saying, well, we're trying to, but there's no money going there. You know that 25% of all the money taken in goes to pay salaries?
Yeah, sure.
It doesn't go to do what it's meant to be.
400 meals, what they were burgers and sandwiches, were flown in a private jet. Somebody picked up the tab for it, and Red Cross put them in coolers and wouldn't serve them.
Oh,
Okay.
that would.
So
But people want to riot and tear up places over stupid things like
I need a drink on that.
Somebody wasn't found guilty by 12 peers. I'm sorry, I don't understand that either.
I need a vodka on that one.
Yeah, I know. It just drives me nuts. You got the court system. When someone goes through the court system and they're found innocent or guilty, that's the way it is. Mm-hmm. Now if you're found guilty and you feel you're innocent, you can appeal. But if you're found innocent, it's over. But these people that are rioting up in St. Louis and tearing up businesses and tearing up cop cars and tearing up all this stuff, and then what are they going to do? They're going to go, give me a handout. Help me with this. And help me with
this
that.
governor was a Navy SEAL, and he has got the police.
Which governor?
The governor of
St. Louis?
Not the state.
Indianapolis.
Indianapolis.
Yeah, Indiana.
Indiana. Yeah, he was a former Navy SEAL, and he is a Yeah, I know. Well, we didn't put any cranberry this time.
I know we're missing our.
And they're arresting him, and they're throwing him in jail. And he has said the only safe space you're getting is a jail cell, which I believe in. And as far as the looting goes, and the arsonists, I believe they should be shot on sight.
Well, that's true, and there was something on the news I saw up north when I was in Tennessee. Somebody broke in to one of the stores. It was down here in Florida after the hurricane. They opened up a Publix, and they went in to get groceries. So there was still some food on the shelves, and there was one person working that day, the manager, and his other help hadn't come in yet. He was still waiting for him to come in, and a bunch of these hoodlums, I'm not sure what race or nationality because I wasn't there, just ran in, started grabbing stuff, and ran back out. And the manager couldn't do nothing about it.
Yeah, right.
And the person that was there had a carry permit and said that they thought about it, and then they said, you know what, it wouldn't work.
Yeah.
I would end up in prison, and they're
Yeah.
probably right.
Yeah.
They would,
They
even
could.
though by the Florida law, you're if someone's doing something like that, you're allowed to stop them, but they weren't endangering that person.
Right,
so,
exactly, or someone else.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They were just
you'd
stealing
be.
stuff from
I have.
Publix. Publix was good enough to open up their
Right.
stores right after the hurricane. I
Yeah.
mean, to let people get what they needed.
Right.
So.
Yeah, no, I carry, and I wouldn't have done anything unless I was
You were in
threatened. If
danger,
I was
yeah.
in danger,
Or
or
your
somebody
wife
else
or
was,
whoever,
somebody else was in danger. You got to be careful. But there's just a lot of bad people out there. Look up, we can talk about this on and on and on and on, and you just like all those looters in Fort Lauderdale. They stood behind and they broke into the Foot Locker store and they were loading all these sneakers in their cars, which they had really nice cars. But you know something? They caught 9 of them, and I hope they throw the book at them. I really do. But on this thing about looters and everything else, just get off the subject a little bit,
Sure.
okay? In Braintree, Massachusetts. Now, I mean, Braintree, Massachusetts,
Oh, okay.
which I'm very familiar with because I'm up
That's where you're from, right?
from that neck of the woods.
Yeah.
They want to change the term selectman. You go to a town meeting, you get a selectman.
What is a selectman?
A selectman is someone that sits on a board in a town.
Oh, okay.
It's a board, like maybe 5 or 6 of them, and they make decisions just like a city council.
Oh, okay.
And the name is selectman. They want the name changed to select woman. I mean,
Why not a select person or select it?
Stop it, okay? Stop it already.
Oh.
It's enough. We don't need this baloney anymore. What's happening here, our children have been brainwashed over the years in school. We haven't noticed. And they have not learned to stand on their own 2 feet. It all started with no one gets a trophy. Everybody gets a trophy, or no one gets a trophy. There's no first, second, and third place anymore. And it's creating a problem within. And this is a big problem. This is the collapsing of the United States of America. You have to stop paying attention. And you know what you need to do? If you can't touch it, you don't own it. You need to stop buying gold and silver, and you need to every day. And there's a lot of stuff going on right now in gold and silver. There's gold's been going up. It was $1,318 an ounce today, and I noticed the charts are starting to turn up on it a little bit. And they were just a little skeptical because Yellen is coming out with some kind of announcement because they screwed everything else with all this printing of money, and they don't know how to unwind it and get out of it. So there's a problem right now. The whole world is in trouble financially, and they're clamping down on Bitcoin. Bitcoin took a big drop because the government can't control it, so they're threatening.
You know what I read about Bitcoin?
What?
You know when Bitcoin goes up?
Yep.
When Google searches, when people are searching for Bitcoin, that's when their stock goes up.
Well, it's not a stock. It's not a
well,
stock.
no,
it's a
but
coin.
I'm just saying the value of it. And then if you stop looking for it, the value goes down.
That's an interesting
Yeah.
comment. I hadn't heard that before.
Yeah, I saw that. It wasn't on the news.
So it's somebody smart enough to know, or
That's what the algorithm
Google,
set up
or
for.
Google, or someone.
I think Google's involved in it.
Well,
Yeah.
it's,
never know.
You never know. Actually, just as far as involvement, J.P. Morgan Chase, Jimmy Dimon, he has been announcing that Bitcoin is worthless and get out of Bitcoin. But did you know that J.P. Morgan Chase is buying Bitcoin overseas?
Really?
Yeah, he's talking about it here to bring the price down. Hey, what is this? How much are you going to drink here?
Thirsty.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to start.
You got plenty.
I got enough here right
Well,
now. I'm just talking too much, Okay, and basically he's telling people that to dump it so the price gets low, and he's buying it on the other end to make all this money. He's doing the same thing with gold and silver. Gold and silver is not money. You shouldn't buy gold and silver. And J.P. Morgan is buying tons of silver. So my whole point is you need to buy gold and silver as an insurance policy. That gold and silver is the only money that really means something. Right now they're talking about who has assets. Paper money is not assets. You can buy things with it for now, but eventually you won't be able to. It's coming. I can't put a date on it, but it's coming. Oh, the other thing I wanted to mention. Remember I told you about September 23rd? Supposedly, that's the end of the world.
Again?
Yep, again. But people are talking about it even more now because of the hurricanes and because of the earthquake in Mexico. And another earthquake in Mexico 2 weeks ago.
Wait a minute, that means that we've only got time to make one more podcast after this, and then the world will be ended.
Exactly. Maybe we ought to make extras.
I think we should.
Yeah, for the next generation or whatever, But that was. I just found that interesting. What else is going on in the tech world? Anything, JD?
Well, there's a lot of scams going on out there. A lot of these pop-up scams about this Zeus virus. If you get that on your computer, don't panic. Give us a call, 941-240-2675. We can probably help you fix that really quick. And if you are infected, we can take care of that. There's a lot of, this thing with Equifax. It's got a lot of people worried. There's a website you can go to. I'm not sure what the website is, where you can put your name in and see if you are one of the 143 million people that were their information was given out to
Is there a website?
Yeah, there is. It was on the WFLA news station out of Tampa on their webpage, and I forgot to get the link.
No, I want to look it up.
To get our 1-800 number and email address and all that. By the way, if you want to email us, it's TobeyG and JD Show at gmail.com. The 1-800 number I'll have to have next time. I seem to have misplaced my paper since we moved things around a little bit here. Oops.
No, that's not good. Yeah, I know someone very well. Yesterday, they got a call from their credit card company wanting to know if they charged a Mexico airplane flight on their credit card, and they shut it down. They shut it down. So I don't know if that person really, they got their number from Equifax or what. But
you definitely want to get protection. If you don't have it, you need to.
They shut the card down, and they're sending her a new card. So that she was good lucky. Well, they would have covered it anyway, but that's not the point.
Yeah.
The point is.
Well, just think if they get your bank account information, and they can ruin your credit. They can go buy a house. They can buy cars, and ruin your credit. And
that's why they're not a sponsor, but you should have LifeLock. I mean, LifeLock has done well for me.
There's a lot of different ones, but just LifeLock is good. I have the one through Legal Shield, and that works well. And not that I have really great credit, but I'm working on it. And they call me and let me know if something's going on. So we're on this trip. We got plenty of notices. I had to tell all the credit card companies that we were going out of town.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, at least they're on the ball.
Yeah.
Because I was on a cruise. I had taken the whole family on a cruise. It was on the, I think it was the Oasis. But that being said, when I got back, my credit card, I couldn't use my credit card, and LifeLock had trying to get in touch with me. Someone went online and obtained a credit card for a clothing company.
Oh, wow. And
LifeLock shut them down when they tried to use that card. And it was a serious situation. I mean, I didn't get burnt, but detectives came to the house the whole bit.
Sure.
And I don't know if they found out who did it or not, but they took it very seriously, which I was glad they did.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why you pay that fee, and it's not that expensive. So it's
I think it cost me $20 a month, but this is the time of the broadcast. Is we got the comments. You're not going to believe this one.
You're right.
Okay, identity is a prison. You were a prison.
I worked
at a prison. Yeah. Identity is a prison you can never escape. But the way to redeem your past is not to run from it, but to try to understand it and use it as a foundation to grow. I'm going to say it again, okay?
Yeah.
Identity is a prison you can never escape, But the way you redeem your past is not to run from it, but to try to understand it and use it as a foundation to grow.
Nice.
That was Jay-Z.
Jay-Z?
Yeah.
The rapper?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And it's another one for you. The successful warrior is the average man with laser-like focus. That's true.
Makes sense.
That's Bruce Lee. I knew you were going to guess it. That's why I said it. Okay. And we got to do 3, huh? Okay. Don't worry about failure. You only have to be right once. By Drew Houston. That's
very true.
That's true.
Yeah, that's very
You
true.
only have to be right once.
Yep.
I mean,
you're going to be wrong more than you're going to be right, but
so
use that one.
very few people, successful people, have failed. Very, 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 very few. But I'm going to give you everyone a few stocks to watch. Maybe
good. I get to be quiet.
maybe I shouldn't. And I'm not saying to get into them right now, but
okay.
these are the ones that I'm watching the charts. They're kind of in a correction mode right now, and they're setting themselves up. And one of them is GDX. It's the gold ETF that has been going down. Gold's been it's starting to turn around, and now's not the time to buy it, but the time is coming very closely. Another one that's been screaming is MU. I'm not even going to tell you the names of these stocks, but it doesn't matter. When you follow charts, you don't even have to know what the company does. You have to make sure the 50 and the 200-day moving average, it's the stocks above that, and the MACD and the slow stochastics are starting to go up. It's all be a combination, and there's a time to buy and there's a time to sell. But MU has been screaming upwards, and someone called me and they wanted to jump into that one and another one. And I told them to wait. And I told them yesterday to wait. I said, just wait. It's going to turn. And wouldn't you know it, this morning, the stochastics and the stock started coming down. And when it starts turning up again, it's going to scream again. It's a very strong, and I don't know why. The symbol is MU. The other one is STM. Wait for a pullback. It's starting to pull back a little today. I don't know how it ended up on the day, but it's the same thing. When the stochastics start turning up again, that's the time to buy it, not now. And iBuy is another one to watch. It's IBUY. That's a tech stock ETF. It's one to keep watching. And keep buying gold and silver. Absolutely.
Sounds like a plan.
Absolutely. And, we talked about the Red Cross already, and the Bitcoin is another thing you got to be very careful of. But I've been watching Bitcoin. I tried to buy a Bitcoin, and JD can attest to this.
Yes.
I tried everything I could.
I helped, and then we couldn't get it to work.
I tried every company to open an account. And
it drove me to drink.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah. And I could not open an account to buy a Bitcoin. I tried everything. It wouldn't photograph my information. I mean, it was enough to make you drink, and that's why I drink. That's why we have happy hour every hour here in Florida. And, it's just, I wanted to buy a Bitcoin so I could talk about it more. Well, I'm going to talk about it anyway. But it's dropped dramatically since China wanted to start controlling the new issues of Bitcoin, and it's something that you got to be very careful of, just like you need to be very careful of the U.S. currency, because that's going to go away eventually. And just pray that they don't embed something in your hand, because that's been coming up again as well. They're talking about not being able to grab money to buy anything unless you have a chip in your hand implanted in your body. And you can read this on myangelscloud.com, myangelscloud.com. There's a post on there explaining this chip, which they're talking more and more about it all the time. And you know what else is coming out?
What?
You're not going to believe this.
What's
well, you won't believe this. You don't know about this. I know you're going to look it up as soon as I finish. They're starting to build robots for sex, and they're sex robots, and they're building them, and they're lifelike. They talk, and
do they shut up?
No, I think that you could pull a chip.
Okay.
And I'm being serious. They're building them, and they're selling them. And there was one company that was going to start renting them, and they were stopped because of hygiene purposes. Apparently, the lower extremities could be exchanged to be sanitized and so forth. But these are very expensive, lifelike looking robots. So this is where the world's going. I mean, the world is coming apart in one way with the youth of today. And I can't say all the youth, but this Antifa and all these people, these are big freaking wackos.
Maybe we should tell them what we're going to be planning on doing in October to give them something bright to think about. And, since Valentine's Day is every day.
Valentine's Day was going to be every day. We have a company, we can mention, it's called Sweet Treats.
Sweet Treats and
You know
Gifts.
Mary Ann.
Joanne is
Joanne,
she's the owner of the company, and she is partnered up with us and going to have chocolate-covered strawberries, white chocolate, whatever you want. We'll ship them to you, and we're going to have them starting in October in time for Thanksgiving and Christmas, and, of course, on through the rest of the year, including Valentine's Day and anytime.
Well, Valentine's Day is every day.
Anytime you get in, you love your wife, your girlfriend, your significant other, whatever it may be, and you want to show them that, all you got to do is, shoot us an email. We'll have this all set up on the website soon on My Angels Cloud on the store, which is not there right now, but it will be soon. And you'll be able to go there, pick out what you want, pay for it.
Made to order.
Made to order.
We're
doing some other things too. Toby, you want to tell me about that? We got a couple more minutes.
Well, I don't want to go into that other one.
Are you going to save that one for
yeah.
them? We'll tease them a little
I was talking to Joanne today, and she's going to start. She makes her stuff all made to order, and it's all natural. And she's going to start doing different bakery treats. Again, all natural for the different seasons. For Halloween, she was telling me today she's going to have stuff for Halloween, which we're going to have right here, and for Thanksgiving as well as Christmas. And it's going to be stuff that you don't get anywhere else. And it's going to be
good, that's for
right,
sure.
exactly. So just think of us, and you'll get something that's going to be a top quality, and you'll be able to view it on YouTube and Facebook Live. It's coming up. And we're working on another project that should be quite interesting for you hefty football fans out there. It's
college and NFL.
Yeah, you'll be the talk of the tailgate parties at your house.
We could also include the NHL, the NBA,
absolutely,
the MLB,
and LBGTA, you name it, we can,
WWF,
and the FU or whatever, but we're going to come up with
MU.
Well, we're going to have a good time with this merchandise, and we're going to have fun, and we're going to continue to talk about.
I'm going to try not to eat it.
Well,
if I put it in front of me here, it's hard.
One of the things we're getting is very, very unusual, and I'm worried about JD. He already said that he wanted to try it, and I think I'm gonna have the cases shipped to my house.
We're getting close to that end of the day time. So, anything else you want to say before we close out?
Well, until next time, you'll be able to see these faces soon. I don't know if that's a good thing. You'll be able to see the palm trees that are behind us and us drinking our drinks, because happy hour is every hour.
Amen.
And just like Valentine's Day is every day, you're going to see that soon. Here you go, JD.
I'm telling you.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah, we've got about a minute to go yet, I think. I'm still trying to. The email address. You can always email us at TobeyG and JD Show at gmail.com.
And Facebook.
And Facebook, you can go to our fan page and like it. Leave comments about what you see on there, the stuff that we post. Post your own things if you like. If you got any ideas, let us know. Oops. And other than that, that's pretty much it. I hope you all have a great time and a great week, and we'll see you on the next time.
See you next time.